Good evening, you're watching India Today. I'm Gaurav Sawant. There's been a massive bomb blast in Bangkok, in the heart of Bangkok's commercial hub. At least 12 people have been killed and sadly the death toll could go higher. There are several who are severely injured, 20 injured according to the police in Bangkok, and this blast took place in the Rajaprasong intersection. This blast reportedly took place right outside the Iravan Shrine, a very popular tourist attraction, a Hindu temple. This is a temple of Lord Brahma where this massive explosion took place. As you can see those pictures on the CCTV camera. Local TV is now reporting the death toll is up to 15 and at least 80 people are feared injured in this massive explosion that took place a little after 7 p.m. local time in Bangkok. Still not clear who's the group that is responsible for this attack, but this is a place which is very, very popular with Indian tourists, and a large number of Indians, even on social media, have been tweeting they are in Bangkok and fortunately they are safe. There are two malls very close to where this blast has taken place. At least one of those blasts, at least one of those malls has some Indians who've just tweeted saying, "We are safe," but there has been major loss of life. And you can look at these pictures, the magnitude, the intensity of the blast that took place. It's left window panes shattered in a 1 square kilometer area, if not more, around the blast site. India Today's Shiv Arur joins me with the latest. Also with me is Atir Khan. Shiv, what more can you tell us about this massive explosion that's taken place in Bangkok?
Gaurav, 15 people killed, close to 100 people critically injured. The entire area has been, fully cordoned off. But, like we see so often here in India, a huge crowd of people, many of them, tourists and locals have actually sort of crowded right around that cordoned area. And this might actually be hampering the emergency response operations that are underway at this point of time. 15 people dead, nearly 100 injured, several people reported to have lost their limbs in this particular attack, Gaurav. The images are grisly. We aren't able to put many of those images on air because, there's video footage of body parts strewn all over the place. A great deal of panic that's, set in, obviously, in this particular place. Very close to the Iravan Shrine, Gaurav, which is a popular tourist attraction and a very old, ancient 14th century Hindu temple to Brahma, actually, where this blast, supposedly took place. Now, whether that has something to do with the blast is not known at this time. Way too early to conjecture on that. No group has taken responsibility, at least so far, for this particular attack. So we're still trying to verify, all the information that we're getting from our local sources and our local affiliates in Bangkok at this point of time. But what we do know for a fact is that this is Bangkok's largest commercial hub. That blast has been captured on CCTV camera as well. The police has confirmed to India Today that this particular bomb was placed inside a motorcycle that was kept there, which explains the large number of vehicles you can see gutted in the aftermath photos. Great deal of panic, even though that area has been evacuated completely as well as cordoned off. But a huge crowd of tourists and locals that we're seeing in live images, through local media surrounding that place, and possibly hampering operations, even though the priority right now is to get all of the injured out of that area. The hunt is on to see if there are more injured people in the nearby areas as well, Gaurav.
And Shiv, as you were just confirming, police telling India Today that this explosive apparently was kept in a motorcycle, and that perhaps explains the number of vehicles that have also caught fire. This was in a parking lot, it seems, but massive damage because that's the route that people take when they go inside the shrine. There are two malls, there's a hotel, and that perhaps kind of explains the large number loss of life and the number of people injured, Shiv.
Absolutely, Gaurav. It's a developing situation right now. a huge amount of huge amount of panic that has set in right now is completely understandable. We're just getting information in that Indian actor Janelia D'Souza is in Bangkok. She's just tweeted, as a matter of fact, Gaurav. She says, bomb set off just opposite the mall we are currently in. Can hear the sirens blazing all over. We are safe, but feel terrible for the lives lost. Janelia D'Souza is, of course, a popular Hindi film actor, and she has tweeted that she was in the mall right opposite to where this bomb blast actually took place. It's a pretty densely populated area, Gaurav. Lots of malls in this particular area, lots of high-rise office buildings as well. The Ratchaprasong intersection is a main arterial, commercial neighborhood of Thailand. The Iravan Shrine is an area that attracts thousands of tourists, virtually every single day. So this was a place that was, we may not be experts, and we're going to have to leave the investigation to the experts, but this area appears to have been chosen because it is so full of people at all times of day, and it continues to be crowded even quite late at night. The fact that it was detonated, around the evening, Gaurav, obviously means it was specifically decided that the time would be when the crowd was surging, when there were maximum number of people there. This was a casualty-specific attack. The precise message, who the targeted group was, if any, what the message really was that the terrorists wanted to send out is not known just at this specific time, because no group has actually taken any responsibility yet or claimed responsibility. But what we are hoping to get in the next, in a very short while from now, is either a group claiming responsibility or some theories from the Bangkok police. They're expected to hold a short press conference not very long from now, where we're hoping to get a clearer picture of what happened.
Shiv, stay with me. I also want to bring in my colleague Atir Khan. Atir, you've been speaking to sources. A large number of Indian tourists visit Bangkok. Bangkok is very, very popular amongst Indians. Any reports? All Indians safe?
Well, that's right. Bangkok has a sizable population of Indian community, and Gaurav, as of now, what we know is that no body or no group has claimed the responsibility. What is being suspected is that that Bangkok has been going through a lot of political faction and rivalry to that effect, and there's also low-level Islamic insurgency with which the Bangkok is reeling. That it has been ruled by the army since May 2014, and this place, particularly is the center of helping the center of political demonstrations, especially the Ratchaprasong intersection, which is in Pasun 1 district.
Stay with me for a moment. I want to quickly bring in Nirmal Ghosh. He joins us from the blast site. Mr. Ghosh, what more can you tell us? You're at the blast site.
Yeah, well, the blast, it was a very powerful bomb. At least 12 have been killed. There are body parts even lying around. At least 40 vehicles have been damaged. The bomb went off. It may have been on a motorcycle, the police are saying. There may also be a second bomb, which they are looking for. They're combing the area. It was a very powerful bomb. It left a crater in the road, and it went off with the rush hour just after 7 p.m. right in front of the Erawan Shrine in the Ratchaprasong intersection, which is like the middle of downtown Bangkok.
Right. Now, there is fear of a second bomb, you say. Any suspect, or is it too premature to know who could have done this and who could the intended targets be?
The intended target, well, of course, we don't know if it was intended or it went off by mistake. We don't know. But right now, as far as suspects are concerned, too premature. Nobody knows.
Okay. The death toll, according to some reports, 15 and rising, injured 100 and rising, according to Bangkok TV. Is that what you're picking up, and is the system geared up to deal with this?
The system is geared up. There's plenty of capacity for hospitals. However, yeah, that is probably true because of the explosion of this site. I mean, I'm on the site, so I'm not monitoring the police information. But yeah, that I would not be surprised at all if the death toll is higher.
Because the pictures, and some of those pictures, Nirmal, we are unable to even put out on TV. They're so disturbing. We urge viewer discretion. This was a massive explosion, and the impact apparently could be felt over a considerable area.
Oh, yes, absolutely. In fact, it was fell for 100 meters. There's shattered glass all over the place. I saw one body which is severed in half, which has been flung about 30, 40 meters away from the bomb site. So, yeah, and it's the biggest thing of this type to strike Bangkok in living memory, I think. There's never been a bomb. There have been small bombs and this and that associated with political unrest, but never something like this.
Now, in the past, there were reports of Israeli tourists specifically being targeted in Bangkok. Could this be perhaps a repeat of what happened in 2012? Or could this be something very different? Have the police come out and said what kind of explosives or what happened? Or are they only, initially engaged in evacuation and, first aid?
Now, to the best of my knowledge, there is no clue as to why this bomb and who did this. However, where this spot is one of the busiest intersections. It's normally packed, like end to end. It's in the heart of downtown Bangkok, and this was rush hour just after 7 p.m. So if it was intended, it was certainly intended to kill a lot of people. That's without a doubt. And with targeting any particular group, I doubt that would be the case in a bomb-related situation like this. It would be just the general public around there. And I would not be surprised at all if there were tourists among the casualties, unfortunately.
In India, there's usually a terror alert. There are specific dates or time where you fear there could be a terror attack. There are intelligence alerts. Anything of that sort in Bangkok?
No, nothing. Nothing at all.
Nirmal Ghosh, for the moment, many thanks for joining me on the broadcast. Senior journalist Nirmal Ghosh giving us reports from ground about this bomb blast that has taken place. Reports seem to indicate 15 people are dead, over 100 injured, and sadly the death toll could go higher. India Today's Maha Siddiqui now joins me from the newsroom. Maha, are all Indians safe, or is it too premature to know?
Well, it is too premature to know at this moment, Gaurav, what we understand of the situation on the streets, and these are visuals that we can show you of the moment the blast went off. It was 7 o'clock their time, which meant that there were a lot of people at this particular intersection, which is a commercial hub as well as a tourist area. There are about two big malls over there, apart from the Iravan temple that we're talking about, which is thronged by a lot of devotees and tourists. So at this particular juncture, it is very difficult to ascertain as to whether there were any Indians who were injured. But this place, Bangkok, is extremely popular with Indians, and we are awaiting a word from the embassy to really understand whether all Indians there are safe or not. We do know that, and as you were pointing out, 15 people have already been declared dead in this bomb explosion. Eyewitnesses say that where the bomb went off on the road there's a huge crater that has been created.
Okay.
This bomb was on a motorcycle which just blew up. There are pictures that are coming in of charred motorcycles lying about in that area. Eyewitnesses are also giving a very gruesome description of the area, saying that they can see bodies lying around. There are body parts lying around in that area. Very, very depressing picture is being painted at the moment. There is chaos over there.
Yes.
Of course, the authorities have rushed into that area to take control of the situation, rush all those who are injured to nearby hospitals immediately.
Right, and Maha, what we're also being told is that several injured who've been rushed to hospital are extremely critical. There are massive shrapnel injuries, there are glass injuries. Film star Janelia D'Souza is also in Bangkok. She's at one of the malls. She's just tweeted. There are several other Indians, including some journalists, who are at another mall, one at a hotel, and a large number of Indians at this point of time in Bangkok. We pray and hope they're all safe. But a massive explosion, and Maha, initial information seems to indicate that these explosives were kept in a motorcycle. A massive blast, massive shrapnel, and that is where most of the injuries have taken place. They're shrapnel injuries.
Well, you're absolutely right, and that is why we are seeing so many people injured and quite grievously. They have all been rushed to a hospital. 15 people already declared dead. This intersection has seen a lot of political activity, if I can put it that way. Gaurav, today we are seeing that this intersection, which is commercially, we see a lot of commercial activity there, a lot of tourists there. Timing also of the blast, 7 p.m. rush hour, when there were a lot of people gathered there. Perhaps the aim to injure or kill the maximum number of people. Really, really scary
keep tracking that story. I will come back to you for more. A very clear indication that this bomb was intended to hurt and kill as many people as we possibly could, given the time, 7 o'clock, in a busy, very busy tourist place right in the center of Bangkok's commercial hub, in front of a temple, a Hindu Brahma temple of the 14th century. We'll get you the latest developments on that story.